Hey everybody, it's Wendy from Rose Light Astrology. I haven't made a video in forever. Turning the volume up here. A lot of changes in my life. I moved last year and then I moved again temporarily. Well, I moved temporarily, then I went to Florida, and I came back, and then I moved temporary, and now I'm settled. So there was really no space for me to be creating videos and all of that. I'm in my snake return year, so I'm a wood snake. I turned 60 this summer, and it has been a lot of transformation. And today is December 30th, 2025. I have incense burning so you can see the smoke wafting by. So we're almost at New Year's. We're leaving a 9-year and we're moving into a 1-year. This is also a 9-year for me personally. I follow the collective numerology. That's my numerology matches the collective, which is interesting. So I hope everybody is purging and clearing and releasing all they don't want to bring forward. And I certainly am. I've had an amazing autumn, and Three Eye Atlas has been incredibly elevating. And then I hit this like lull, particularly around relationships that were heavy and hanging on and not evolving. And I energetically don't have the space for that, to really fulfill what I came here to do. And I also have a pretty strong Saturn, so it's like, how to be realistic about life also, because it's not always rose petals and bliss. Although when we choose to embody and breathe and allow the Kundalini to move and allow the Venus rose light within us to rise up, we can shake off so much stuff, and that's currently how I'm feeling. So I wanted to make a video and share a couple things that might be helpful for people, even though it would have been helpful maybe a couple weeks ago. So let me share my screen. I want to talk about where we are right now. I'm going to share this. I'll just share my desktop, and then I'll choose one of these images. Hold on a second. This one. So the quality of this is not good. I couldn't find my original anyway. It's very blurry, and I apologize for that. So maybe before I share that, we'll talk about this. So Venus, the planet Venus, is in her regular cycle. She goes through a 5-pointed star cycle, like the pentagram, within a period of 8 years. So every 18 months, Venus is a morning star for 9 months. Then she goes through this like 40-day or 30-some day, what we could call Venus in the underworld. Some people call it Venus in the glare of the sun. And then she moves into the evening star. So in between the morning star phase and the evening star phase, we don't see Venus in the sky. In the morning star, we could wake up at 5 a.m. and go out and see her on the horizon, and see her rising with the sun. And then she continues to get higher and higher in the sky throughout that 9 months. And then she disappears, which is where we are right now. And it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. So what did I write down about that? I wrote, the hardest part for most people who do not welcome the inner cave, that sanctuary, that darkness, It tends to be really hard for people who are super fiery, um, or have a lot of air, or are avoiding their deeper wounds, their deeper patterns. And so to actually access the inner sanctuary and to have it feel like a sanctuary in that deep, deep stillness, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're in winter and we just deepened, right? We just had the solstice and now we're in the 13 days, the 12 days of Christmas and the 13th day. At the end of those 12 days, the Epiphany, and to access that inner sanctuary, that means we have to face our fears and our demons. They must be embraced and faced to actually access that inner well of abundance that comes in complete solitude and quiet. Now, some of my longtime friends that have known me a long time probably don't understand this part of me, but I have the moon in Capricorn. I need a lot of quiet inner time. Plus, it's in the 8th house. So I really, really in the winter, especially during the holy days, I could be alone for 10 days and not talk to anybody and be really happy because I'll be writing and connecting and communicating with the other worlds and really aligning my energy body. That's what this time for me is for. And I wanted to bring all this up and decided to share about it because where'd that other photo go? And also, I'm so sorry about this picture. It's horrible. I just had my computer, a new operating system uploaded and everything got put onto a drive and I haven't put it all back. Anyway, I made this chart and it's kind of based off of a chart that Adam Gainsbourg made when I studied the Venus cycle with him. So everybody is either born as a morning star, an evening star, an underworld phase here, or as a Venus retrograde. And so there's two aspects. So I'm just going to tell you, we're just coming through this long 9-month cycle as the morning star. And when Venus starts as the morning star, she's coming out of this retrograde underworld retrograde phase, and she starts to rise and rise and rise and rise. And this is like the horizon here. And she rises and meets the sun, and or she's building to meet the sun. And when she does that, that starts a new Venus star point. And we just completed one in Aries, okay? And then she goes, this is Anana's underworld journey, her descent, retrograde, ascent, and retrograde phases. I have a Venus course if you want to learn more about it. I have some videos about it. I'll be posting them on my YouTube channel soon. And anyway, so this is a gate. This moon, this is Venus, the star, and this is the moon. So when Venus and the moon come together, it is considered a Venus gate. And these gates represent the different chakras. And from here we start the 7th chakra, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1. So we come down to this first chakra in the morning star phase. Sometimes we even get to the earth chakra before we go into the underworld, depending on the calendar, like how it all comes out. And we hang out in this underworld phase before Venus begins her ascent in the evening star phase. So as soon as Venus comes back into the evening star, we'll begin to see her in the evening sky. And that'll go on for 9 months, and she'll be kind of low in the sky. And then by the time she reaches through that 7th gate at the top here, she'll be way, way, way up in the sky. And so these Venus Moon conjunctions, they're basically portals of what I call rose light, where you can receive the rose light of Venus. And I have a book coming out, a mini book about that. I decided to take my Oracles book and chunk it down, and I'm going to make workbooks out of them so you can learn how to access and actually embody the light of Venus. So anyway, so this is where we are, okay? I wanted to show you that. So we're not in the evening star phase. So basically January 6th, which is only like 5 days from now, or 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, is when Venus and the Sun conjunct, and that creates this new Venus point at 16 Capricorn. And that kind of changes the tone. It does change the tone from Aries, and it moves it into Capricorn. Meanwhile, the overall phase of this entire cycle here, this 18-month cycle, is in the sign of Pisces. And that's based on the Venus alchemy work. And I'll talk about that more later. So let's see. Let's change the video. Let's see if, and I'm going to go to this chart. Okay. So let's just say this is currently, okay? Current. So here today, December 30th, 4:45 p.m., Washington, D.C. I'm outside of D.C., but close enough. The moon is in Taurus at 20 degrees, which usually is pretty nurturing moon in Taurus. It's a pretty comfortable, easy time, especially for people with water and earth planets. If you have all the fixed stuff, you might feel a little edgy depending on what kind of planets it's squaring. Anyway, so here we go. Here's Venus, okay? Oh, where's my star points that didn't show up? That's so weird. Are they there? Oh, I don't know why it didn't apply to this. That's so funny. Okay, here's the Venus star point here. Oh, here they are. Okay, sorry. So here's Venus. She's at 7 degrees Capricorn. Here's the Sun, 9 degrees. So Venus moves fast. Well, she's going to meet the Sun. She's going to come up and meet the Sun, and that's going to create this new star point in Capricorn. And then we move along here. So here's the star point, the 16-degree star point. So if you have planets in Capricorn or mid-degree cardinal, you're really going to feel this, especially Mars is there. We're going to feel really activated around Venetian themes, which can be money, values, resources, relationships, our inner relationship, that inner well that I talked about, that inner sanctuary. You know, Capricorn's pretty concrete structures. We're going to feel motivated and driven more than we have. When Venus is in the underworld, and she will be there until February 17th, okay? But the phase of the underworld before Venus meets the Sun, it's the darkest, okay? Venus is in the sky, and if we are not comfortable with our inner self in a really pretty deep way, we will have a harder time. Once Venus meets the Sun, there's more light. Things become illuminated. There's more hope. When Venus is in this underworld phase, some difficult things can happen for people, especially if you're having like a very personal, if it's affecting you very personally, particularly in your chart. And once Venus moves past here, so if I move this here and we keep going, there goes Venus. So see, Venus is like trailing the sun here. She's trailing, trailing. So they meet at 14, but it's not exact to the minute. And they keep doing this dance, 14, 15. Here they are, 16. See, they're only 3 minutes away. If I like really backed it up to the minute, we could get it right there. So there's all of this happening. Here's the star point. Here's the sun and Venus, right with Mars, right? So Mars is an evening star right now. I mean, sorry, that's not correct. Forget that about Mars. But anyway, Mercury has moved out of that retrograde shadow. It's moved completely by this time, by the beginning of the year, moved out of Sag, all that galactic center, Saggy energy has moved on, and now we're taking everything that was illuminated during Sagittarius time and we're going to make it into something sustainable, concrete, something real, something tangible, something down to earth. And, you know, Capricorn really is about mastery ultimately. The earth signs are about that. So taking whatever rose up inside of us, right? Whatever touched us in a very esoteric way, even, that all wants to be illuminated. And then a lot of stuff happens in between all of this, but I'm going to move to this solar eclipse. Let me just turn this incense off. It's starting to smell funny. Okay. So I have a lot of stuff in this chart, but so here we are, February 17th. So much happens February 17th. Okay. So the Venus evening star, Venus rises at 8 degrees Pisces. And so that's like this initiatory phase in the evening star. It starts the whole evening star phase. And I'm always more comfortable with Venus evening star. I am an evening star Venus. And morning star is like, oh, I like the more inward time of the evening star. It's smoother, it's quieter for me, and I can channel more. I have more that comes through me and it feels more flowing to me. So Venus is conjunct the North Node in Pisces. There's the new evening star phase. We've got a lunar eclipse happening here at 28 Aquarius. And it's also the Chinese New Year of the fire horse. So we have a lot of things happening here. And I just wanted to point that out, that we're building up to this evening star. So between this chart that I just showed you here, where we are right now, Venus moving from this Capricorn star point in the underworld, it's like, okay, she's initiating a new beginning with the sun. She's being illuminated by the sun. She's in that glare of the sun. It's so bright from the sun, Venus like disappears. You can't even see her. And so everything that's happening in that glare is a kind of doing and reworking, so that when she is ready to rise as the evening star, we begin through the root chakra, then we go to every month, the first month is the root chakra, then we go to the belly chakra, the sacral chakra, then we go to the power center, then we go to the heart chakra, then we go to the throat chakra, then we go to the third eye, then we go to the crown. So each one of us are born within one of these phases. I was born as an evening star in the solar plexus chakra, so my life has been a lot about empowerment and finding my power and how to really, really access it so that I can, rise up and ascend and offer my Venetian gifts. forget that I have Venus and Virgo. That's like a whole nother component to the Venus story. There's so much about Venus that we can learn about ourselves. Um, anyway, it's my whole Venus story is very complex. So I'll save that for another time. Anyway, so I just wanted to give you some hope between January 6th, between even now, between December 30th and this eclipse. When Venus comes to the evening star point, we will have more hope. Even though, the completion of the 9 year, moving from the snake year into the fire horse, we still have some shedding to go, right? So long ago, I wrote this poem called Snake, Oh Snake I Am. And maybe I'll make a recording of that too, because I wish I could find it really easily right now. I'd read it right now. Maybe I'll pause this and find it. I think that's what I'm going to do because it's really rich. Hold on. Mm, mm, weird. Weird that I can't find this. I don't understand. Bless it. This is so irritating. Why? I don't understand. Hmm. Huh. It's very weird. Hmm. Okay, I found it. So I'm gonna, okay, I'll just leave it. Snake, oh snake I am, twist and turn and slide and roam. Snake, oh snake I am, explore and shift, curl and unwind. Snake, oh snake I am. Let's see, is it recording? Are we recording? I think so. Yeah, it is. Okay. Explore and shift, curl and unwind. Snake, oh snake I am. I live and breathe to shed my skin on rock and stone. Snake, oh snake I am. True youth and healing inside, waiting for your call. Snake, oh snake I am. Ready to awaken your nature to crawl. Snake, oh snake I am. Belly to the desert floor. Awaken my medicine, passage for all. Snake, oh snake I am. So we're in this last phase, everyone. I'm going to go back to the chart. We're in this last phase of the 9-year, and then we're in this last phase of the snake. So we have between now, December 30th, and the 17th of February. And in my visualization, it's like if you've been shedding, and can really connect with that. And even if you haven't been, you still can, right? The universe doesn't stop doesn't stop the opportunity to transform. It's always there. We always have the opportunity. Sometimes there's more momentum and energy to support us in that. And I personally like aligning with all of that because that's just who I am. I'm kind of a metaphysical chick. So I'm connected with that, right? So, and really to make it more authentic, it's just my soul calling. It has nothing to do with being a chick. It's like this is part of my nature, and astrology and movement and healing and taking responsibility for the soul pattern that I came onto the planet with, which was not simple. Definitely in those first waivers from the 1960s. Yeah, so, but now the bliss is here to ride, even in the midst. We can have all the opinion and all of these feelings about what's going on in the collective, but I came here to be a voice for the rising of consciousness, for the divine feminine. I know that I was born in the Holy Cross Church with Mother Mary statue outside. The neighborhood that my parents bought the house in before I was born is at the base of the St. Mary Magdalene Episcopal Church. We went to that church. The church I was confirmed in was the sister church to the St. Mary Magdalene Church. It goes on and on. My story like that goes on and on and on. And then when you see, if you saw my astrology, it's even like layer upon layer upon layer of the voice for the sacred feminine. And so even with my own resistance, right, in evolutionary astrology, we talk about resistance to soul growth. I came here to learn how to take full responsibility for my dynamics so that I can grow beyond them. I have a grand mutable cross in my chart with planets there, squaring Pluto, squaring Saturn. That means I've been doing this many, many, many lifetimes. And this is the lifetime for me to really integrate these gifts that I have, these tools, these challenges, these blessings, right? Bring it all together. And there's no timeline per se. It's just a matter of choosing. So we each have this natal blueprint that we came in with. And when we can understand it at a very deep level, especially if we're struggling with certain patterns over and over, then when we can see the breakdown of what that means, then we, can begin to move past the mentality of things and go into our essence, because we are multidimensional beings, right? And I have had so many experiences, amazing experiences, miracles upon miracles upon miracles, but only because I've allowed that deeper layers to come up. You have to have a lot of emotional courage to transform. And there's so many tools now, and there's so many different kinds of healing. We don't have to wait or just do that therapy work. We need to do body work or parts work. I love parts work. If you've never done it, I totally encourage you to check it out. There's all kinds of energy healing. So it's not about disconnecting from body and just ascending. It's about, for me, it's about all of it. Being here, being present, being in this body, letting the Kundalini move, letting the energy rise, being grounded, being with my body, my sexuality, all of these things, and being illuminated and receiving the messages and the light, because we need awakened souls on this planet. So my next video is going to be about Mercury and Uranus and this book that I'm writing about them. So I wanted to give you a little hope about everything. Let me stop my share and just look you guys in the eye. And just say I'm super grateful. Thank you for being here with me. And I will be back. I'm so excited. Look, I can see myself in my glasses. So my glasses broke, so you can see. I haven't replaced them yet. Anyway, Happy New Year. Blessed solstice, inner sanctuary holy days. I know people already experienced Hanukkah that are following that faith, and everybody is Ramadan. I don't even know when that is. Some probably right now. Forgive me. Just know that even when we think everything or feel everything is the darkest, because I've been feeling some heavy, like I had this entity attached to me. I was like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. It was like really uncomfortable for days. And I just did this. Oh, I know what I wanted to share with you. Satnam Kaur. Her music, let me say, I just want to tell you too, oh, here it is. Yeah. So, what's that CD? Let me look it up. Can you see my Gemini, people? I have a lot of Gemini. Here it is. Look, I have this album on my music. Oh, it's the Grace album. This album, just play this or play some Kundalini music. By the time she gets to this song here, I'm like really lit up, and you can't help for your Kundalini. Oh, I have my sharing screen off, so you probably didn't even see that. Anyway, Satnam Kaur, K-U-A-R. The album is Grace. Play some kind of music, do some breathing. I was dancing, moving in the car, like do some yoga, do something. And I'm not talking, it's not, if you're going to work out and it's all this like linear kind of thing, that's not going to do it, folks. It's not going to do it. You have to be creative in your movement and creative in your body so that you can like feel the Kundalini rising, so you can wake things up. And then it's going to hit wherever it's going to hit, wherever your block is, that's where the Kundalini is going to stop. And that's your invitation. And that's what Joseph Campbell says is there's abundance, a wealth of abundance in there for you, just waiting for you. And it's where we fear to go the most is where we are called to go. So blessings of light in these dark days, which I'm enjoying very much. My Capricorn moon loves it. All right. Much love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.